Artificial intelligence is becoming a more widely talked about topic over the years, with concerns over the use of AI in things like election results, wars, and its assistance to humans in things like computer chips,
the brand new RTX Blackwell 5090.
Self-driving cars and other electrical goods. There is understandably some concern in the world about whether we'll get to a point in the future where we'll no longer be able to control AI. AI is controlled and nurtured by some of the world's richest people, most notably Elon Musk, whose net worth has increased by about $140 billion since Donald Trump's inauguration. In this video essay, I will discuss how things like ChatGPT work, how AI assists with us day to day, how long artificial intelligence has actually been around, and whether it poses a significant threat to us. AI tools like ChatGPT have a relatively simple concept. Basically, it's a much more advanced search engine. You put in a prompt, wait for its response, and hopefully it gives you the answer you're looking for. ChatGPT is always learning, which to me means that the more research ChatGPT does, the more accurate its results are likely to be. However, there are certain instances like Microsoft Image Creator. When you ask it to generate an image, it's basically taking lots of concepts of other images from other actual artists and putting them together into one image, which is basically plagiarism. So there is the controversial side to AI, and the same for things like essays, university lectures written by actual university professors, things like that. The accuracy of the information that things like ChatGPT provide actually is more dependent on your prompt, because, for example, if you wanted to write a university lecture, you wouldn't want it to generate an hour-long lecture based on one sentence. You'd need to specify the exam board, the topic, and any other relevant notes. This kind of moves on to the topic about how AI helps us in our lives. Tech companies like Nvidia are using AI with their new graphics cards, where they generate additional frames in the middle of existing frames in video games. An arguably even more powerful use of AI would be things like self-driving cars. A 2022 BBC article highlighted that self-driving cars could be on the roads in the UK by 2025. Obviously, 3 years on from that, it's about to be March, but obviously that was a little bit ambitious because it hasn't quite happened yet. But given the advancements companies like Tesla are making currently, it's not too far-fetched. One of the strangest examples of artificial intelligence is this woman, Sophie the robot. She was built in 2016 and basically was a humanoid robot that could interact with humans and even display human-like emotions. Terrifying. Apparently she was shut down, but I'm not quite sure what the reason for that was. Even though she was built 9 years ago now, the influence of ChatGPT, Apple Intelligence, Samsung AI wasn't even a thing at that point. It's still mind-blowing to see what humans can create, and possibly gives us a hint of what we could create in the future. So, how long has AI been around? Well, a lot of people assume that AI is a relatively new concept, but it turns out that AI has been used for decades, ever since the first computers were built. People think that AI is a new concept, but it's just that AI has taken a different form in the last few years. The development of AI has increased very rapidly in the past few years. So here begs the question, is AI a threat, and can it take us over? During a BBC interview, the quote-unquote godfather of AI compared the research of AI to nuclear war.
You've spoken out saying that AI could manipulate or possibly figure out a way to kill humans? How could it kill humans?
Well, eventually, if it gets to be much smarter than us, it'll be very good at manipulation because it will have learned that from us. It's like nuclear weapons. If there's a nuclear war, we all lose.
Essentially, when used in the right hands, AI is completely harmless. If anything, it does more good than harm to humans. The people that are most in control of AI are big tech companies like OpenAI, Microsoft, Samsung, Apple, etc., because they've done the most research and they know most about it, basically. It feels a bit dramatic to say that the world is in their hands, but they are essentially the only people who could develop it safely. Hopefully the use of AI in the future could potentially create agreements between countries like, for example, the USA and China, who famously absolutely hate each other, which comes back to the point of nuclear war. Everybody's in this together.
We're all in the same boat. It's bad for all of us. And so we might be able to get China and the US to agree on things like that.
Countries and huge corporations have a moral duty to keep humans safe when it comes to AI. There is also the threat of AI taking over lots of jobs. It's true that in the long run, if businesses want to cut costs, they can buy as much artificial intelligence capital as they want, fire all their workers so they don't have to pay labour costs, and they get massively increased profits through that way. But what some people with that mindset fail to realize is the concept of the circular flow of income. Basically, when workers get paid, that money through a salary gets paid into other companies, which then uses that money to pay their workers, and then the cycle continues. Without workers, the circular flow of income becomes much less circular. So there definitely needs to be some sort of legislation. What they're doing at the moment actually with trying to protect artists from AI is actually a very good idea. There needs to be some sort of legislation that protects workers, artists, and such the like from the threats of AI. It's also important to recognize though that AI develops through the use of learning from other people. There just needs to be some sort of way for AI to use the research that it's found in a non-plagiarism way. But overall, the likeliness that AI will take us over is very low. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't hold governments and corporations accountable for the proper use and research of AI in the future. If it's used correctly, AI is one of the biggest assets to humans that we've ever discovered. If it's used improperly, it's one of the biggest threats. Basically, don't worry. Thanks for watching.